There are times when emotions run deeper than words can express, when two souls find themselves dancing on the edge of a line they were never supposed to cross, and in the quiet spaces between what's said and what's felt, there lie powerful truths that only psychology can decode. You might not even realize it, but she may be secretly longing for a connection that society deems forbidden, a glance that lingers too long, a laugh that's a bit too genuine, a silence that says more than 1,000 spoken words. These are not just coincidences, they are windows into a mind grappling with feelings she doesn't yet understand, doesn't feel safe enough to admit. Because when a woman is secretly ready for a forbidden love, her heart sends out signals cloaked in mystery, in hesitation, in subtle intensity that psychology can help us unravel. The first hidden sign is not found in grand gestures or bold declarations. It's in her emotional availability when no one else is looking. Imagine this. You're in a setting where there's no reason for her to open up, no obligation for her to be vulnerable, yet she starts revealing parts of herself she keeps hidden from the world. She talks about her fears, her past wounds, her unspoken dreams. These aren't casual confessions. These are emotional disclosures designed to pull someone closer without saying, "I want you." Psychology calls this selective vulnerability. It's an unconscious act, where someone lets their emotional guard down only for a specific person. She's testing the emotional waters, inviting you into a part of her world no one else gets to see. When a woman does this in a forbidden context, maybe she's married, committed, or bound by social or cultural norms, it's not just about trust. It's about emotional yearning. She's reaching across the boundaries of her current reality, trying to form a deeper emotional connection with you, one that transcends the acceptable and dips into the emotionally illicit. This sign often emerges in subtle ways. Perhaps she tells you stories that have emotional weight, waiting to see how you respond. Does she light up when you comfort her? Does she mirror your emotions, laughing when you laugh, growing quiet when you're serious? These are not random reactions. These are emotional synchronizations, a psychological phenomenon where two people begin to align emotionally because of a deeper, unspoken bond. Her readiness for forbidden love isn't announced with fireworks. It's whispered through shared silences, empathetic nods, and that lingering look when she thinks you're not watching. She might not even consciously know what she's doing, but her subconscious is screaming for connection, for someone to notice the cracks in the facade she maintains every day. That's why her vulnerability isn't shared with everyone. It's only shared with you. And that should make you pause and wonder why you. Why now? The second hidden sign, she's ready for a forbidden love, is how she manages physical proximity. This isn't about overt touches or obvious seduction, it's about the way she invades your space with hesitation, then doesn't retreat. It's the almost accidental touch that lingers a second too long. The moment she leans in just slightly closer than necessary when speaking, the way her eyes study your face when she thinks she won't notice. These are subtle signs of psychological attraction rooted in physical awareness. When a woman becomes hyper-aware of your presence, when her body language shifts, softens, or opens around you, it's often a sign her mind is exploring possibilities she's not yet voiced aloud. She may smile differently when you're around. Her posture may mirror yours, or she might play with her hair, her jewelry, or the hem of her clothing, all classic subconscious signs of attraction. But in the context of forbidden love, these behaviors carry a different weight. Why? Because they're performed with restraint. She catches herself. She might step closer, then pull back. She may laugh, and then look around as if making sure no one saw. The tension here is electric, not because of what's happening, but because of what's being suppressed. Her body is sending signals, her mind is still trying to justify, and that internal conflict is what makes forbidden love so psychologically intense. Psychology refers to this as cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort she feels when her actions, emotions, and beliefs are at odds. She knows the situation is off limits. She knows the rules. But the human heart doesn't follow rules. It follows connection, resonance, emotional safety, and when she finds those things in you, her defenses begin to crumble. In many cases, Her readiness is betrayed not by what she does, but by what she stops doing. She stops talking about her partner. She stops maintaining emotional distance. She stops pretending she doesn't care when you mention someone else. Instead, she begins subtly competing for your attention, not in obvious ways, but in emotional ones. She listens more attentively. She remembers small details you barely recall mentioning. She starts being there more often, coincidentally or not. All these behaviors stem from a psychological shift. She's beginning to emotionally invest in a reality that hasn't yet materialized. She's imagining a life where the two of you are more than just passing moments. And even if she never admits it, her actions speak volumes. She's waiting for a sign from you, from herself, that it's okay to fall. But here's the dangerous truth. Forbidden love thrives in ambiguity. It survives in the gray areas, where nothing is said, but everything is felt. And that's why it's so intoxicating, because it demands restraint in a world obsessed with indulgence. When she's secretly ready for this kind of love, it's not because she wants chaos. It's because she's starving for connection. She's suffocating in a situation where she cannot be fully herself. And you, perhaps unknowingly, represent an escape, a mirror, or a spark she's been missing. Psychology teaches us that emotional deprivation often leads people to seek intimacy in the most unexpected places. It's not about lust, it's about the hunger to be seen, understood, and emotionally fulfilled. In this space, everything becomes a message. The way she looks at you when you're not looking, the way she remembers things you don't even remember saying, the way her voice softens when she speaks just to you, as if the world around her fades. These are not accidents. These are emotional breadcrumbs she's leaving behind, not necessarily because she expects you to follow, but because she can't stop herself from leaving them. Forbidden love isn't always a conscious choice. Sometimes it begins as a whisper in the heart, a flutter in the gut, a look that says everything words never could. And when a woman is secretly ready for it, she becomes a paradox, holding on to the world she knows, while reaching out for the one her soul craves. If you find yourself caught in this emotional storm, you must tread carefully, not because the feelings aren't real, but because they are, realer than either of you may be ready to admit. And once those feelings are unleashed, there's no going back. That's the power of forbidden love. It doesn't ask for permission. It only asks for recognition. So the next time she runs up to you when she doesn't have to, or lingers in your space just a second longer than necessary, understand this: her heart may already be in motion. Her mind might still be saying no, but her soul is already whispering yes. And if you've felt it too, if you've noticed these signs and felt the same emotional pull, then you're not imagining it. Psychology confirms what your heart already suspects, that sometimes the most powerful loves are the ones we're not supposed to feel, but we do, and that's what makes them unforgettable.